Okay. We'll start the day with, and I love this Sonoma Tarot deck. That's what I got. That's where I got this from. Sonoma, SOMNIATOROT. The @ symbol first, or that's on Instagram, or Nicholas Bruno, NICOLASBRUNO. So it's showing up.
Yeah, it's pretty focused. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So I like the tarot deck. Has a good feel. The cards have a real good feel to them.
The Somnia Tarot.
Yep. I was saying it wrong as hell.
I got you.
That. So this is going to represent the outcome of. I like the different spreads. There's multiple different spreads. The cards, how it's laid out, is on. You can catch it on the film. It's on the film. All right, cool. I like this 3-way spread. The first 3-way spread is like the present, no, your past, and things that you dealt with, things that are blocking you. This is your present, things you're currently dealing with and have to make peace with. And this is the future once you rectify all these things. It's a simple spread. You can get more indicative, but I like this first spread. So this is the Knight of Cups. What did I say? That was the past?
Correct.
Blockage. Knight of Cups, sensitive, expressive, heartfelt, chivalrous. Well, it's turned upside down, so it's actually the opposite of that energy. Right? So I'm dealing with the opposite of that. I'm dealing with the opposite of sensitivity, the opposite of expressing. Yeah, I don't have no problem expressing myself. I don't have no problem being heartfelt. So I'm dealing with the opposite of that. So sometimes I can be selfish. But okay, cool. It's the present. This is the moon.
Okay.
And it's also upside down for me. Dreams, mystery, deception, illusion, fears, and the unknown. I'm dealing with the opposite of that now. So opposite of dreams are reality. Opposite of mystery is things unveiling themselves. Opposite of deception is also things unveiling itself. The opposite of illusion is things that's real. And my fears, I'm conquering all my fears by doing things I've never done before. In the unknown. Yeah, I like to live in the know. I like to know. I don't like to not know. Yeah, these are things I'm dealing with now. I agree with that.
Okay.
And this one's facing me. Damn. What did I say? That was the future problems we got to deal with? Death.
Everybody got to die.
Everybody got to die. Well, let's see what it say about death. Because death also can mean the death, like when I kept dreaming about me getting killed and me dying, it was really about me, a part of me dying.
Right.
So I felt in my life, it was a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. And I kept having visions of me dying, me getting killed. And then something said, don't fear. It's a part of you that has to die for another part of you to live.
Correct.
I was like, okay, cool. That's how that went. Death means transformation. Mortality, final, purity, renovation, transition, inevitable change. So I like that.
Sounds really good.
That sounds real good. It looks bad, but it sounds really good. But looks can be deceiving. You know. All right. I like these cards, the tarot cards. Tarot is based off of tarot, and tarot comes from the root word terra. That's the old word for earth. Terra. That's why. We even call Earth Terra in science to this day. To terraform, to terrain, right? And we call it extraterrestrials. You know what I'm saying? They extra. They beyond Earth.
Okay.
Extraterrestrials. People. Estrial is like an essence or a thing that exists. And so like to terraform. That means to make something Earth-like in its environment. So Terra is one of the ancient names of Earth. Also Gaia, or Gaio, or Geo. It's another name for Earth. We use
Geography.
Yeah, correct. I was going straight there. Geography, geomagnetic fields. Anyway, but inside the ancient Akkadian language, the word for Earth means dirt, means soil. Inside of Transformers, he says this. He said, "Why would they call a planet Earth? It means dirt." It literally does mean dirt. Whoever wrote that, they was dropping a jewel. That's a dumb name for a planet. He says that. This is Optimus Prime's teacher. This is Optimus Prime. I think his name is he's a prime as well. He's one of the ancient primes. A prime could only be divided by itself and one. Prime numbers are very special. So when they call itself Optimus Prime, that's a deep way to word something. That's a deep way to Optimus. The optimism comes from me. I'm the only one. I'm the answer. That's what he calling himself by calling himself Optimus Prime. But anyway, that was deep. And then he even told Optimus, "You got weak." This is inside of the third one. When they went back to the pyramids and made the pyramids, you never saw it?
Not that one.
Not that one. They went back to the pyramids and turned the pyramids into a spaceship. And the pyramids was used to be a spaceship, and it was a ship, and it was meant to bring in other people, other beings from another world, from Cybertron.
Might have did say it was Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Oh yeah, Shia. The ones after Shia ain't all that good. Shia's so much of a good actor. He went into this zone where he tapped into, and it affected his reality. When people like that, because you got to understand, actors transcend reality. They create many worlds they live in for us to enjoy as entertainment. That's why, like, Robin Williams was such a talented person, but the man could transcend dimensions. He was very depressed, right? But he was extremely talented.
Yes, he was.
And that's like, we just lost an actor off The Young and Restless today. He died at 54, 43. Huh?
Who?
I forgot the guy's name.
Okay.
It's a young guy. He was off The Young and the Restless or whatever.
Okay.
A lot of shows I don't watch, but I just caught it on the news. You know what I'm saying? But they say he suffered from chronic depression and suicide and stuff like that. Of course, when I saw his age, I'm like, yeah, he overdosed. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they started out saying he had many mindful struggles. They saying, yeah, he killed himself. They say the doctors are still trying to be determined, but really he overdosed.
Billy Miller.
Okay. He got a familiar face. When I saw his face, even though I don't watch The Young and the Restless, when I saw his face, I'm like, oh yeah, I seen him around. For people who sit there and watch Young and the Restless, I want to add this: their life pretty boring. I'm not gonna hold you, cause to sit there and follow them stories, and it's on for like what, 4 hours out the day. It's not small shows. They're on for like 4 hours at the day, like, right? 3 or 4 hours.
They all come behind each other.
Yeah,
in the Restless General Hospital, as the world turns, they all come behind each
correct.
other. So that whole
segment
may be about 4, because
yep.
each one is an hour.
Yep, see what I'm saying? So they call them the stories, right? The days of our lives, right? It's deep. They call it the days of our lives. It's deep. They call it the Young and the Restless. It's deep. Those titles are deep, but the fact that I never liked about the stories was the fact that it was so crystal clear. Like, it's not shot in a cinematic way. It's real clear. You look at the vision like Telemundo. They copying the stance point from the story. So they ain't nothing but the stories just in...
Like a telenovela.
It's nothing but the stories, but in Spanish. And it's full of dramatic. It's full of, I slept with your sister. It's full of, daddy sleeping with stepdaughters. It's full of that. It's just messy. Drama. But drama reflects and mimics life. Life is supposed to be a reflection of drama, right? Our society, everything that's drama driven is in essence great for TV. So if it's drama driven, like, for example, when they tell the screenplay writers to write a screenplay, every second, every scene you set up as as a discourse or a disagreement. You put a disagreement in every scene.
Mm-hmm.
Every scene is a disagreement. So
keep your audience connected.
Correct. It keeps their attention. So like, if the first opening scene, boy comes home from school, boy takes off backpack, throws it in the corner against the wall. Mother walks in. What's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
See how that immediately it jumps straight into some type of storyline. And then, because I was reading this, because I was studying a whole bunch of stuff about like drama and television and why all of it plays the same pattern.
Okay.
All stories, no matter what stories are, is set up in 3 different acts.
Okay.
Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Okay.
In Act 1, the characters get introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is your storyline. This is his name. He's a young boy. He's getting bullied. That's how you know it's a hero triumphant thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever someone's getting bullied and getting picked on, people root for the underdog naturally.
Naturally.
So like, he's getting picked on. Spider-Man is getting picked on. He's Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going through this humanistic experience, but it's not a good one. And he has some type of fight. See, there's many conflicts and there's main plots. You're setting up the plot. You're giving characters depth. So some characters are really rich characters, and some characters are muted characters, so they won't outshine the main primary character. Right?
Okay.
So a good example of this is sometimes you have a dual main modality. Like for example, brothers-in-law. What's the name of that shit? With Ice Cube and Kevin Hart, and both of them cops.
I know.
Is it brothers-in-law?
No, it's something else. It's called another. I can't remember right now.
Okay, it's cool. But so they both share the role,
Mm-hmm.
right?
The main character role.
The main character role. So it's dual. It's semi-main characters, right?
Okay.
And guess what? One of them play the female, and one of them play the male.
You feel that way?
That's just the way it was written.
Okay.
The one who's always complaining and always whining is the woman. The one who's always serious and he plays the male role. He's always serious. He's always angry. He's always mad. He's always disagreeable. He's quick to say no. Men are like this. Women are like this.
Okay.
Women say yes. Men say no. The more a woman is in her no, the more masculine she is. It's easier for them to say no.
Okay.
The more a woman is like yes, she's open to everything. She's like yes. Now, with the wrong presence of people, of course, that yes can turn into, can't be yesing for everything. Just like when cats say yes a lot, in the neighborhoods they call him a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
He feminine. He ain't masculine. That's what they saying. Stop being a yes man. Stop being a pushover. Because society looks at women at least like you push over on them. You get over on women a lot of times. Yeah. And so like to get over on a woman in the way this society is structured, a lot of times men get over on them and it's accepted. It may not make sense like right away, and the way I'm wording it may not be the best.
I understand.
But you understand what I'm saying. Exactly.
I'm following.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's acceptable. It's not uncommon. So not uncommon that it's common. You feel me? And society's like, yeah, like he did you wrong. That's what happens, girl. Just welcome to motherhood. You know, he's out here cheating. Boys will be boys. You know,
Yeah.
girl. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's acceptable, but not stamped as acceptable. It's acceptable and not
Because it's
front.
a man that did it.
I mean, yeah, men to just go out and just do dumb shit and walk all over a woman. Like Taraji P. Henderson said, you just take my heart. And you keep stepping on that shit. You keep stepping on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Over and over. When you gonna stop, Jody? When? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, every movie is set up this way. This is called the hero dynamic or dilemma. Then you have in the hero journey, the hero must die at the end of the movie. That's why in Shakespeare, all of Shakespeare's things, the hero dies. The person kills themselves. The whoever the hero is, the antagonist either kills the hero or the antagonist gets killed alongside the hero. Or the hero kills the antagonist. You know what I'm saying? Gabriel kills the Lucifer, but in the process, he may die as well at the end. As a hero's reward.
Or go away.
Huh?
Or go away.
What you mean or go away?
Like, I know with some movies that, you know, that depict the heroes, once that work is done, they just go away. They don't stay.
Yeah, they go in exile and go live happily ever after.
Yeah, so they may not die, but
so to speak.
That era.
Yeah, it's past.
It's past.
Correct. They did what they came to do. They did their work, and it's done.
On to the next.
On to the next saga.
Yeah.
To be continued. Yeah. Yeah. I like at the end of French films, they say fin, F-I-N. Means finished. At the end of cartoons, Walt Disney, what's that Walt Disney? They say that's all, folks.
That's Looney Tunes. What's that? That's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers? All right, they say that's all, folks.
That's Warner Brothers.
That's all, folks.
That's all. Looney Tunes, Warner Brothers. You gotta think of that.
Yep. I always thought that was cool. But anyway, long story short, the conflict setup and everything is multi-layers to conflict. So you have sub-conflicts, you have individual conflicts, you have group conflicts, just like you have group speech. So when you're introducing characters and everybody's talking, it's like 6 different characters, and they all have rich points or rich viewpoints as characters or whatever. They'll come in and they'll cut each other off, and it'll be one cohesive conversation. I hate it when I see this irritating me because I'm a writer. It irritates me because I'm like, you're dividing one conversation up into multiple people's thoughts. Like they'll say, if you're watching FBI, it'll be somebody talking to be a main guy captain. So what happened before that? And then they'll say, well, we did the research and we found out this guy was going to kill such and such. And then somebody else will come in and say, and also we just found out that he lives with his mother and we're going to go to the mother's house. And then somebody else will jump in and say, yes, and he's known to have priors from this era or this town before of rape. And then somebody else will jump in and say something else. When everybody could say the one thing. If one person could have said what 8 people just said. They call it group talk. You get what I'm saying, how I'm framing it?
I understand, but also I feel like in movies like that or sitcoms like that, episodes like that,
yeah,
everyone came in with their own opinion because they had different jobs they had to do pertaining to that.
It looks like their own opinion, but really, remember, it's one person that wrote this episode.
Correct.
So that one person, all this comes from their mind. So in their mind, they're going to divide up what to make everybody participate.
Correct.
Okay. Going to divide it up into so everybody can have something to say and everybody have a line.
I got you.
Yeah. So they're taking one conversation. I'm like, I always say, one person could have said all of that. Like I always say that. Like I'll be looking at the camera and I'm like, And all of that shit is predictable. You could watch a show of Law and Order SVU. In the beginning, the opening scene is what? The incident, the tragedy, the rape. You know what I'm saying? Every episode, somebody will get raped or sexually assaulted.
Yes.
That's
special victims unit.
Special victims unit. So this gonna set up to get some woman running and some guy catching her. It's gonna fade to black and she's gonna wake up. You know what I'm saying? Then it's gonna boom, boom, doom, 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 boom. And then Ice-T gonna come in, all of them gonna come in, and all of them. Then there's gonna either her being approached or being in a hospital, or they're gonna approach the victim somehow, or the victim's gonna come in. After the victim comes in, and they do an initial thing, Jennifer, what's the name of the lady?
Who?
The captain.
The guy.
The woman.
Olivia.
Olivia's gonna approach her, and she talks about so much rape and so much sex after all these years. If you look at her face is just
drooped.
Yeah, because she's been dealing with it in this world, and I got caught up in this world too. I got caught up in watching SVU.
That was my show.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say. If you watch, I don't think they got like 21 seasons, right?
They have a lot.
Yeah,
maybe more than that.
It's more than 20. I'm just roundabout.
Okay.
So like with that being said, in each season is what, like it's
20,
50,
maybe 20 some episodes.
Yeah, 22, 23, because it's 52 weeks in a year.
Correct.
Right, and they predominantly shoot like every week.
So every week.
With that being said, let's just say you watch 5 years or 5 episodes of it. 5 episodes multiplied by what? 26.
5 times 26. That's 30. 10, 130. You said 26 times 5?
Yep.
3 times 2 is 6 plus 3. That's 90.
90?
26 times 5.
Yeah. I want to try to do it in my head first before I grab
think
the
it's
phone.
90. I might be wrong.
No, you good.
26 times 5, 3, 0. I'm sorry, I'm way off.
What?
130.
Huh?
130, 26 times 5.
Okay, so you've witnessed 130 murders, 130 rapes, 130 molestations.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had to get out of that cyclone of it. Because my mind, because I began to project the things that I saw that somebody wrote inside of, whatever, some weirdo that wrote an episode upon my nephews and my nieces and my family members because I love them out of fear from watching all this bullshit. Like all people's walking around sick like that. That's not to say that we don't have weirdos and we don't have sick people, but if you're constantly watching that, it's my show. I watch it all the time.
You'll create a sheltered life for yourself.
Correct, because you live in a state of fear and you're doing it, projecting out of protection upon your family members because you live in this world where it is people like that exist. But it's like, I think a serial killer is 1 in every 10,000. It's not like how they make it seem. It's not like how they make it seem.
But because that's the show, and
The
that's
show,
what we
the
see,
show is selling
it
the
looks like
sicker.
It's happening every day.
Correct.
But it's not.
Correct. So like I'm gonna get back to this too.
Okay.
I'm gonna double back to say how safe people are, how not safe they are.
Okay.
Right? But I want to finish this storyline of the conflict.
Go ahead.
So boom, you had to set up. Boom, the girl comes in or the person comes in that's sexually assaulted. They get help. They seek out the person. By the end of the episode, there's a climax. There's a run. There's some rich guy who can't be touched, and they find a way to catch him.
Okay.
And they find a way to get him, and they get the bastard. They nail him. You sick son of a bitch! How could you? That shit. Ice-T slams on the table. Let me get 5 minutes of that with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some guy coming in. How could you do that and betray their innocence and make themselves angelic in nature? To have someone to look down upon when they probably got some freaky stuff they do on the low and they just wearing a badge, but it's their job to be judgmental.
Yeah.
And it's a show at the end of the day. A lot of those cop shows are to commemorate and abilify cops, to put them in a great light. They don't show cops how they really are, how they skim off the top, how all of them said, that's $1 million right there, that's a drug house. That ain't getting reported. Yeah, bro.
Some of it might, but
none
all
of it. Yeah. If I got something to do with it, how would they know? He's dead. There's $1 million. There's 5 of us. We dividing this shit up. Don't spend it all. Okay, that's what happened. That what happened. And in bigger cities, it's more corrupted than that. There's more corruption because
like Cali. And
like Los Angeles. I mean, it's just you got people with no overhead, no oversight, nobody to talk to, nobody explain. The fact that they got 5 mansions. It's a lot of fuckery when you're dealing with state ran agencies. Because there's so many gaps between who answers to who. So if you work for, like, let's say Vice, right? Okay. And you in Los Angeles, you answer to like a subcommittee. You don't really have like a supervisor. What it did just now?
No.
Okay. Still rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
All right, cool. So you have like a subcommittee you answer to. You may have one supervisor, but he's not out in the field. You got a captain per se.
He just saying he dispatches.
He dispatches, and then it's kind of up to your discretion how much fuckery you get away with, how much stuff you do. Whether I had to smoke some weed to blend in, or I had to sniff a line of coke, and you have to come in and give a report as if you choose to tell them about that, because there's so many gaps between. You know what I'm saying? Then they have what they call the blue wall. When you Google the blue wall, it's basically explaining how cops don't tell on cops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we protect our own, and so if one of us, that's how it's so hard to get bad cops out, because you have people that's been cops for 20 years, and the family thinks about it from a reputational standpoint.
They have a rapport.
They have a rapport and all that type of stuff with the community where everybody loves him. Little they know he like to play with little girls. He has a child.
Or he like to beat his wife.
Or he like to beat his wife, or he gets drunk and hits his children.
And she can't go to the police because he is the police.
Correct. So, with all that being said or whatever, it's just to cast cops in a beautiful light, which is a good thing. Let's not get this wrong. Like, literally speaking, cops are amazing that job is to do their job is amazing. To function every day and have to run towards violence and all of that, that's amazing. To sign up for that little bit of money. Yeah, we talking about like less than $50,000 in most states. You know, sheriff's office, I think they just got a raise this year of 5%, and they was all excited about it, and they was raising the shit to like $60,000 starting salary is like $55 in Richland County, and then the next tier after you become like you'd after that for like 2-3 years, then you get up to like $60,000. And the next tier was like $70,000. I said even that's low.
That's very low. For putting your life.
And guess what? We the highest paid county in the whole state of South Carolina.
Richland?
Yep. We the highest.
Over
paid.
Lexington?
Over Lexington.
Okay.
Yeah. We the highest paid county because they was talking about, because I read inside the article. I thought different too. I was thinking about like Greenville. We have some of the most crime. Must be in the capital and shit. But anyway, long story short. Yeah, they get paid peanuts. That's why it's so easy to corrupt the cop. They don't get paid a lot. You know what I'm saying? Highly stressed. You know what I'm saying?
Overworked, underpaid.
Overworked, underpaid. Bad combination. Very bad combination. But you still people that go out here and do it every single day.
Yeah.
And they put they shoes on and put their vests on and kiss their kids and go out here and protect communities and jump in the ring of fire. That's commendable.
Missing their own kids' functions to go help somebody else.
Just to go participate. Just show up. Hey, Earl, what's going on, man? What happened?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, she keeps cheating on me. And he's like, all right, Earl, well, just come on down here. We're going to sleep it off. And you know what I'm saying? He has to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And then when somebody has mental health issues, he doesn't know that. He's just showing up. He doesn't know. That, you know, that's James, and he, you know, his brain don't work right. You know what I'm saying? And he suffers from schizophrenia. He doesn't know. You know, he doesn't have a sign on him that says, I suffer from paranoid schizophrenia, and I'm crazy, and I'm violent, and I got retarded strength. He don't know that. So he's a young guy. He's a 25-year-old cop. He's been on the force 2 years. He never had to discharge his firearm. And then James is yelling at the store. He gets called, hey, man, get in the car, man. I'm not going nowhere. He's having an episode. He doesn't know that.
That's Act 2.
You know what I'm saying? Then you went ahead and go grab him, and now he shoots you. And he killed the handicapped man.
Conflict.
Anyway. So, at the end, there's always a resolution. It's always a resolution. It's always somebody to get caught. It's always someone who finally made it to that place that they were trying to go. There's a paradise. This is called the apex.
Okay.
Right? At the end of the movie, where it's like, and the music will change. And it'll be going to the top of the apex. And it'll shallow out. Kind of like a song. A song has a beginning, a middle, and an apex, a climax. And the song will be the climax. When she started riffing, or he started riffing, that's considered the climactic point. Just like when it's meant to mimic life. Art mimic life, and life is like the climax. The same way you start with foreplay, then you act. The middle part would be the middle act would be actually having sex, and then the end would be the climax. Yeah, so everything is the same. Movies are like art. Art is like life, and the depiction how life is actually done. Life does really come in 3 stages when you really think about it. Life you have a beginning, you have a childhood, and then you have your adulthood, right? And then you have your dwindling years all the way to your death. So life really does come in 3 phases.
For some people, that third and final years, they go back to a childlike manner.
Yeah, correct.
You find older people, they wear Pampers. Who wears Pampers? Babies. They get Alzheimer's. They only know like certain stuff. Babies don't know certain stuff. So
correct.
You go back to a child. Like
yeah, once a man, twice a baby. That's a real saying.
Yeah, once a man,
you know what I'm saying? And you go back to a child, like, you know what I'm saying? They even get to singing old songs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so with that being said or whatever, that's how everything is based off of conflict, and it's set up that way. Just like inside of love and hip hop. I don't know, God forbid, the people who thought that love and hip hop was real, God bless them. But you got people who think it is. So, you know, that's their reality, that's prerogative, you know. But all of that conflict is actually scripted. All of that conflict is actually set together and set aside. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay. Excuse me. All of that conflict is actually, like, premeditated. They put people who don't like each other by each other just so they can press record. they nudge people in a certain direction. Like, you know, maybe you should go over there and talk to Keisha and tell her how you feel about Robert sleeping with her. You know, and how that makes you feel.
Or they make somebody else be that person.
Correct.
Like, I just want to bring y'all together, knowing there's gonna be some drama.
You know, it's gonna be some bullshit. So it looks like on the surface level that you're actually trying to resolve something, but on the underlying level, you just want to be messy as you possibly can to boost those ratings up.
But you want to throw the stone and also hide your hand as well.
Correct. So that's what television does. So just imagine if you watch that shit. That's why I watch TV. Just imagine if you watch TV for years. I forgot what statistic it was. I think it was like, if you watch TV every day from the time you were 5 all the way up to 20, this shit was crazy. You witnessed, I think it was 20,000 murders, 35,000 rapes, you know what I'm saying? 120,000 breaking and entering. I was like, you got to be careful what you put in your brain or what you're allowed to get into your reality. You got to guard that. What's wrong?
Nothing, I'm listening to.
Oh, okay, yeah, you got to guard that. But that's powerful. That's key. You got to guard what it is you hold as sacred. Go ahead.
I have a question. So when it comes to that, I also feel like that it needs to be some type of distinction between fantasy and reality. So it's like, if a person does watch TV that much, it's like you're not strong enough in your head to know this is not real. Like, because if I do watch a show and I do see something, I already know in my head it's not real, so I'm not going to carry that out into my day. You know, I leave it as a show, and that's what it is, a show. I guess everybody don't feel that way.
But think about it. You actually come emotionally involved inside these characters' lives. You come emotionally vested inside the show. So you know it's not real, but you don't feel that it's not real. That doesn't stop your endorphins from firing off when something great happens to a character. That's why people cry in movies.
Okay.
You know it's not real. You know it's a show, but at that time you can't differentiate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You can't help that your emotions went out like, oh, that's a child. People did that on purpose. They purposely put that child there. They did it on purpose to pull on your heartstrings. You know it's not real. You know what I'm saying? But a certain part of you, it's a certain dimension where it is real. I talk about that inside my lecture on the metaphysical of life, right?
The metaphysics of life.
Of life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's talking about inside one of the sections. I just go in there inside. It's a dimension where all these rappers are gods.
Okay.
It's a dimension for the word nigga. It's a dimension in an element where these things is a god. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B is a god, whether we realize it or not. We may look at her as a person or a star, but she's literally a god. People chant her. Some people worship her. Some people got pictures all up and people having surgery trying to be more like her. She's influencing the minds of millions, whether it's in a ratchet way or it's in a positive way. Either way it goes, she's a god nonetheless. Lil Wayne is a god. There's a dimension where he exists. You can invoke Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? People burn candles to him. People, he could sell out an arena and 50,000 people to show it.
That's man-made power. That's man-made power to me.
But what you mean by that?
Meaning that people are the only reason that you have what you have. Man-made power.
That's what makes you have power.
You know, so if no one knew you, who would you be?
Of course, but when we're talking from the aspect of what gives you power, the fact that you can control other people, that's what gives you power.
That's true.
The fact that the more sway you have within someone else's mind and physical abilities to move people around like on a chessboard, that's power. Right?
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because power is how you wield your will.
How you wield your will.
Yeah.
I like that.
And Richard Crowley said, "Do what thou wilt."
Richard Collins?
No, Arista Crowley.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, "Do what thou wilt." That is law. That is the law. To do what thou wilt. Okay. So what he's saying in that is like real gods do what the fuck they want to do. I'm God. And so like that's what Lil Wayne do. He wake up and roll a big ass blunt up. He conjured up a reality. And in that reality, he's a god. And millions of people pray to him. When you nod your head, you're saying yes.
That's acceptance.
you accepting what he say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the greatest rapper alive since the greatest rapper retired. And you like,
Mm-hmm.
you thinking you nodding your head because you in the beat and
Mm-hmm.
you agreeing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Every time somebody raps something around you and you nod your head like that, okay, I agree with that. Yes, yes, yes. And you're making a frequency for your brain connect with the frequency of your heart. You're agreeing with it. Yes, I'm in acceptance of that. So you keep listening to all these guys and all these things that they talk about or whatever. There's no question in my mind that they're not God. They might even be stronger than certain gods because there's more people praying to them. You feel what I'm saying?
I'm listening to them.
Yep. And like older gods, right? The when you don't, out of sight is out of mind. So if you don't like dealing with somebody, I don't know because you sound that for me, but yeah, like if you don't like dealing with somebody, if you don't like dealing with somebody or you don't want to deal with somebody, they cease to exist the more you don't think about them or even talk about them. Just like they say, controversy is not everything, but it's better than nothing.
Okay.
So they be like, yeah, they talking about you bad inside. There's no such thing as wrong, bad publicity.
Press.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's what they're saying. At least they talking, right? We may say Kanye West retarded, he crazy. At least we talk about it.
Like the whole Blueface, Krishan, and Jada.
We can say what we want to say about it,
but
at least we talking about it.
That's why they're relevant, is because people are talking about a messy situation, and we're keeping them relevant.
Correct. By even giving it life,
And they're
by
getting
talking
money
about
off
it.
of it.
Correct. So I said that to say
Okay.
this.
Okay.
The reason why they are gods because people don't just talk about them; they idolize them and worship them. Right? Anything you give credence to is somewhat of a god or we have to get out of the notion that God somewhere is like in a magical sky.
Okay.
It's somewhat of a god because you patronize it and you abilify it and you uplift it and you raise it to a certain level in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Yeah, so like that's kind of how that goes. And I see not only people as that, but also objects. Right? A god, the devil is God because the devil is on the same level as God. But the devil is God. That's another room. That's another conversation for the elevator room.
Okay.
The devil and God are one. I lost a lot of people when I said that one time. I was outside talking. I said the God and the devil are the same thing. He's like, oh man, you fucked up now. Everybody started laughing. Like, man, yeah, we was listening to you till you said that. I said, oh, okay. That's what made me become with the concept of the elevator room.
Okay.
Like, this is real knowledge and this is real information and I can prove it. But not to the uninitiated mind.
Right.
Not to a neophyte. They will never understand. You know what I'm saying? It'll look as blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? But if you actually know anything about polarity, the devil just may be numbers are numbers. You have negative numbers, you have positive numbers, but it's still numbers.
Correct.
Right? And that middle point would be where we are. And then, 0.1 or 5 or 6 positively would be where God would be going, and negatively would be going in the other direction. But it's still on the same number spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just to the left or the right.
That's it. So the devil and God are one. The devil is God. But that's like I said, that's a real deep arcane concept to really nail home. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody. But yeah, like
I feel you though.
yeah, like the conflict or whatever of all of this or whatever, like conflict really sells to the point where
without it, it's no ratings. Without it, it's no people engaged. They want the drama. They want that.
correct.
Without it, like if you just have a show about everything happening good, people gonna be like, "This boring. What is
Yep.
drama?" Like, what they doing in the movie? They were just sitting and talking. That's all they was doing, like just sitting and talking.
Yep.
Nobody wants to see that. They want to see somebody get drugged up and down the street. or
Correct.
They want to see.
But why?
somebody fighting.
But why are we groomed into a society like that? Why society like that?
It can start back from war times. It can start back from then when two different people were against each other all the time. It can start back from that. When drama comes, it's been drama in the world. Drama ain't just started.
Yeah.
So
But why is boring not good?
I don't think that it's not good. I think it's great, but I don't know why other people don't think
Yeah.
it is.
Because I remember I was talking to this young lady. She said, oh, you ain't talking about nothing. You kind of boring. I said, boring is bad?
Right.
She said, boring is bad. I don't like it when I hate boring. I said, what's good then?
Right, what's exciting?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
What's
Since
exciting?
when I'm talking about is boring, right?
Mhm.
What is your definition of good? Because now we got to go by your definition. I was very intrigued by this. And I said, she told me too. So I don't know. First she started out with, I don't know. You don't.
So you had no reason either. Okay.
You
So-
don't. But let's go with that. Let's run with that
Let's
idea.
run.
Then she said, I like to go out and do stuff. I was like, okay. Stuff like what?
Mhm.
She's like, I don't know. Well, she said a whole bunch of dumb shit, like clubs, the average thing, you know what I'm saying, what she thinks is fun. And I was like, oh, okay. So you like the street dudes and gangster guys? No, not necessarily. She did. She said not necessarily. I said, oh, okay. So like, what I was really getting out of that was that she really doesn't know what she wants, which is what she said initially, right? And safety, to be a little bit reckless, is cool or fun. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Trying to turn this off.
Man, you turn on vibrate.
I'm trying.
Okay. I think you can
But
do it.
I think I can do it too.
I think so
I
too. I got faith
I have
in you.
all the faith.
Yeah, good. Size of a mustard seed.
I have
right?
all the faith in the world.
Good. I'm on my man down. But yeah, you got it?
We good.
Very good. Let's see. What was I about to say though? Yeah. So
She didn't know.
yeah, she didn't know, and that's the reason why I said all that to say this. That some people have so much conflict they can't picture themselves without conflict, and so to not have conflict is to be boring, and it's to almost not be alive.
Mhm.
So they're dead without conflict.
Mhm.
Right?
And I also think that people like conflict because it gives them something to talk about when they're around somebody.
Correct. It gives them life.
Mhm.
So they live through other characters, online and through movies. Listen,
I got you.
and their drama becomes your drama
Mhm.
because you internalize it, and you follow this person's life
Mhm.
and idolize them. God, they become God in your mind.
Okay.
You begin to talk like them. You begin to mimic their behavior. You begin to dress like them. You begin to act like them. You begin to play their music constantly,
Mhm.
and everything they do, you want to know.
Okay.
That's a God right there. She said, I got condos in these bitches, and I'm living rent free.
Mhm.
She living in people's head, and she knows this.
No light, no water, none.
That's what she said.
Mhm.
I got condos in their head. Like, yeah, you're right.
And she
Right.
telling you this, and you still decide to do it.
Right.
Mhm.
So, like, this what I'm about to say. With all of that power that she knows that she has, she could do a lot more. But
Okay.
yeah,
Because I have an opinion on that.
Yeah.
But it's all about you.
yeah. No, it ain't all about me. Yeah, it ain't all about me though. If you got a difference of opinion, you can say something.
I just feel like when it comes to the one thing I did agree with what she said was that I'm not a role model. Just because someone has power, or first of all, you gave them that power. I don't feel like just because someone is famous that they're automatically obliged to do certain things. I don't have to do, like you said, guys, do what they want to do. I don't feel like that's her job to. I feel like that starts at home. That starts with your parents teaching you the correct things to do. That's not left up to nobody else to teach you. You know what I'm saying? So when people say certain things like that, I listen to them. But my opinion is, I definitely agree. I don't feel like that if I don't want to be a role model, I don't have to, because that's not for me to do. I don't need to raise your kids. You raise your own kids. I'm gonna make the music that I want to make, and if they want to follow that, that's on them. But it should have started at home. And the way you teach your kids how they're going to turn out. Don't leave that up to me, because I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I can't. That's pressure. That's a lot of pressure. And I don't feel like no one deserves to be under this amount of pressure. Now, if you want to be that person and you're striving to be that person, then yeah, be that person. But if you don't want to be, you don't have to be. That's not up to me to put out this good image. You should already know who you want to be.
Well, see, that's
It shouldn't be up to me.
it is though. Like that's the cost. That's the price of fame. You can say all you want. I don't want nobody looking up to me. But when millions look up to you, in a second you realize that you're fully responsible. You're fully responsible. Whether you want to take ownership over that or not, it's irrelevant.
So I can just tell a whole lot of people, go over there and kill that man, and they're going to go over there and kill that man.
Yeah, of course. You don't think Cardi B got the power to do that?
What type of person are you to have strings on you? Like
No. We're not talking about the mind state of the person that'll do it.
Okay.
We're talking about her actions and what type of will that she powers. How type of power that she has. You don't think if Cardi B tells somebody to burn a building down, hundreds of fans just won't automatically do it?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like she knows that she has this type of power. The reason why I said what I said is because you're fully responsible. That's a cop out. That little comment. I heard that comment too. Her and Megan Thee Stallion said you shouldn't have kids listen to my music. I don't make kids music for kids. Anyway, I only let my children listen to my music or something like that.
As like if her, well, just recently we saw a video where her child was in it, and she was, doing whatever she was doing in the video. But I also saw another clip where she was playing some music in the house, and Culture came down and she cut it off. And it was comments like, "Oh, she don't even let her own kids listen to it. Why would y'all be letting y'all kids listen to it?" And then she made the comment that I'm not like. That's not my job to depict what goes on in your house. Like, this is the music I make. I make it for a certain crowd. Whoever listens to it, listen to it. If you allow your children to listen to it, that's on you.
But if you know that most ratchet ass women don't have the capacity to isolate their children, you know they're gonna let their kids listen to it, then you a part of the problem. If you know, that's a cop out. Like if you know that this gun it might get in the hand of a child, and you don't put that safety on that gun, and you don't put no precautions, you're guilty. In law, you're guilty.
That's different. That's very different.
That's the same thing. Like power is power.
Okay.
Power is power.
Okay.
How you use and will that power is up to you.
Okay.
Right? She has a whole lot of power. So pushing back and saying that is like, all right, like I'm a parent and I leave my gun unlocked. Mm-hmm. I don't put the gun inside of no type of box or safe box, or even put like a little something in there for like extra security as a step to stop children from doing it. Did I put the gun in the kid's hand? No. Did I tell him not to do it? Of course I told him not to touch this. Don't ever play with this. It's not a toy. Right? Mm-hmm. But I know that child doesn't have the capacity to fully understand the ramifications of what that gun can actually do.
Correct.
I said that to say this. Cardi B is the same way. She's that parent. Her lyrics and her lifestyle is that gun. The child is young black women.
Okay.
She's fully responsible. Once you reach a certain level of adulthood,
mm-hmm.
you take blame. You don't push blame. You don't negate blame. You don't aim blame other places. You take full responsibility. That's being an adult.
You're absolutely correct, but I also feel like you can't control everything that goes on. Like
of course you can't control.
The concept, what you said about the gun, like I said, that also starts at home. I don't know if you saw this guy, he has like 3 children, and he taught his children about guns from the time they was about 2-3 years old. Mm-hmm. He went out, he tell them how to unload it, break it apart, clean it, put it back together. He tells them exactly what it does, he shows them how to shoot it. He shows them everything. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say all of that stuff starts at home.
Correct.
All of that starts at home, and I don't necessarily feel as if it's a big cop out, as you say. I feel like I said before, all that start at home. I can listen to some ratchet music if I want to, but I was raised in a way where I know that is not real. Mm-hmm. I know that I'm not going to go out and do those things. So it's a very thick line for me. It's not a fine line between fantasy and reality. It's thick. I know where fantasy lies and I know where reality lies. So I can listen or see or listen to whatever, but I'm not going to go out and do those things because I have knowledge of self, and I'm not. I was raised that way. I'm not going to do that. So that's why I say it starts at home.
I agree with the fact that it starts at home. See, as an entertainer, you don't have a way to walk away. When you're put inside a limelight and you control people, what happens after that is something short of a miracle. It's magical.
Okay.
So you have power. With that power, you can do with it what you want. So that's why when Muhammad Ali said, why they trying to take my belt? Because he didn't want to go off the war in Vietnam. Mm-hmm. He refused to go. He said, I'd rather go to prison. Ain't no Viet Cong never called me nigga. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. That was his truth. He stood on it.
He stood on it.
He went to jail for it. Then they went after the World Boxing Federation, went after his belt. So let's make an example out of him. Let's take his belt. So he said, why would they come after me so hard? Why is it such a big deal? He said, cuz. He said, I'm nothing but a boxer. He said, cuz. He said, that makes you more powerful. It makes you more powerful than a politician. He said, I ain't nothing but an entertainer. So I just do what I need to do. He said, you're way more powerful than any politician. People listen to you. Cardi B has that same effect. She's way more powerful. People listen, girls listen to what she's saying. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, you have the responsibility now, whether you want it or not. Okay. You have a responsibility to lead them in a better direction. If not, you know, but the 5 other ratchet people that came before you, the sacks of shit, that sit inside of mansions, make all their millions, and then live a healthy lifestyle. But rapped about the trap for 20 years. Jeezy. Rapped about the trap for 20 years, but his kids go off to college.
Yeah.
So
starts at home.
Correct, it starts at home. I get that. I agree with that. Okay. Never did disagree with that. What I'm saying is, like, they'll preach about a lot of stuff, but he won't openly be against the trap. He won't openly denounce the trap. To this day. He won't openly, I don't want nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with me. When you grow up to a certain level, you want to be bosses, you want to stay away from shit like that. He won't do that.
I mean, but look at Nip, though. Even before he passed away, he never forgot where he came from. So it wasn't about, I guess, Jeezy or nobody denouncing. It's just that the simple fact that, you know, just because I'm rich and famous now, don't mean I'm going to forget where I came from ever.
Yeah, the same hood that killed Nip, right?
I mean, hey.
Exactly. So, you
got haters in the industry. You got haters in your hood. You're going to have haters with those.
Correct. But, like, that same hood killed him.
That's true.
He kept it real, but they murdered him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I see why niggas go away and don't come back. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with a whole bunch of people who don't
want to see you do well.
Man, hell no. And we talking about, like, let's say you get mega, like, not even mega rich, but you get comfortable. Mm-hmm. When you get comfortable, you dangerous. The reason why you dangerous is because you got something that I ain't got, and it irritates me. You got peace. You got comfort. You are loved. I don't got that in my life. I don't want that for nobody if I don't got it. So it's not really jealousy. It's more so of I wish I had that in my life. That's how I look at haters. I don't look at haters as if somebody that literally hates you. They hate the power that you wield and the way you think, and they want to do that too. And they want that in their life. And if they can't figure out what it is they don't like about you, because it's the life that you're living is the life that they want for themselves. But they don't know how to obtain it. That's frustrating. So out of their frustration, it looks like hate, but it's really admiring. They really admiring you from afar. But it's coming across as hate because they don't know how to explain and walk up and say, hey man, how did you do that, man?
That's what I'm saying. A question can solve all.
How'd you do that? I see you got 5 cars, bro. How'd you get to the first one? What lot you went to? Exactly. And you'd be surprised when people have a lot of knowledge. Most of the time, they waiting on somebody to walk up and ask them. They're not like this. They like this. Like if you know somebody who's very skilled inside of a thing, they're waiting on someone to ask them why they do it. Mind you, this is what they do. Like day before yesterday, I was inside of a jeweler place or whatever. Okay. And I told him whatever. I said, that don't look where the customer service place at, because the jewelers was there and they was cleaning the jewelry and they were so focused. And they were standing there. I said, I don't think you go right there for the customer service. Those people don't look like they deal with customers every day. Those people are too focused. They only deal with cleaning the jewelry and setting the diamonds. You can see the heads never went up each time. They were in their world. They were immersed in their world. Okay. I could see by looking at the way they just weren't easily distracted.
That's what you do.
That's what they do. So, like, I bet you if you ask them something about a diamond, he'll open right up.
Mm-hmm.
She'll open right up. It was a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And they open right up, and they get excited, and then they start telling you how many different types of diamond is, how many different type of cuts it is, what different types of diamonds, what hues, how the prices go, what's the
Clarity
best weight,
cut, all
yeah,
that.
clarity, all that. What's the VV, what's VVS, what's difference, all this other stuff. They know that. That's their world. And a lot of people, once they get into that world, they get super excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's still recording.
It's still recording.
Okay, cool. Right.
Yep. The time is going, so it's still recording.
All right, cool. So yeah, yeah, they like they get real excited and open right up.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have a purpose in life,
Mm-hmm.
or you haven't found what it is that God sent you down here to do, you're living in hell. Every day is miserable. You may think that you turn up. You may think you having fun. Like the God A. Rashi say all the time. What we celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
If you getting high every day, what you celebrate? Because that's celebratory.
Mm-hmm.
You drinking every day. What you celebrate?
Mm-hmm.
That's reserved for parties and festivals.
Mm-hmm.
To be out and to be lit. What we celebrate.
Yeah.
If we ain't celebrating nothing, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Every day you doing is why. I kind of looked at it like, that's deep. People celebrate. People look for reasons to celebrate. Like, we make jokes about black people, like, look for reasons to, Ray just graduated kindergarten. And everybody have a party. They looking for reasons to party.
Mm-hmm.
They looking for a party. They looking for a vibe. They looking for something to do. Something to be a part of. Something to get accepted by.
That's the black culture, though. That's something about us, though. We're going to find a reason to be happy about something. And I don't find nothing wrong with that. But if you're just, like you said, if you don't have no purpose in life, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, you really don't.
Well,
Let
me ask you this. Do most people know their purpose?
No.
All right, then.
No, they don't.
So it applies also to us as a culture and a society.
But I feel like that's also okay as long as you're doing something conductive in some way every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot know what you're here for. It takes a while for a lot of people to know why they're here. Like, it was this one lady, I don't know her name. She just got her first role when she was 80 years old as an actress. I'm pretty sure she didn't expect that.
But see, I'm not talking in controversial ways.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not saying nothing bad with knowing. I'm just stating the obvious.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is most people don't know their purpose. Like, will they ever find it? And are they cursed because they don't know their purpose? They living in hell but don't know it. They're not living their fullest potential out. Cause they're not doing what they was set here to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. They don't know what they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they are so, ignorance is bliss.
Mm-hmm.
That means when you don't know a whole bunch of shit, you be real happy. When you start knowing more and having more responsibilities, as back to the Cardi B thing, you have more responsibilities, you take it more serious.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you see leaders and they across all of the world, all of them act the same way. This is serious. This is life. I'm a politician. I'm a leader. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The only people who shuck and fucking jive and dance all the damn time is us. So yeah, it is a cultural thing. It's also it's a cultural thing, and we dance because we happy and we dance, and you know what I'm saying. But also that can be took upon as like we a joke. You gotta look at it from that point of view too. Like if other societies, they take STEM serious. You know what I'm saying? Science, technology. You know what I'm saying? Engineering and mathematics. We don't. That's gonna be indicative of the whole United States, but black people in particular.
Look at little Asian kids, they be
correct,
like from China and stuff.
Correct.
Oof.
So the reason why I say that, right? I'm not trying to talk down on my people. I love my people.
I don't think that you are.
Yeah. I'm just disclaimer. So like, what I'm trying to say is like, we turning up every day, we partying. We got a whole bunch of Cardi B's out here, a whole bunch of sexy reds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And art emulates life. So yeah, when you got people like that that ghetto, that's showing you that if she didn't sell or it wasn't money to be made off of it, then she wouldn't exist.
Right. But it's definitely agreeable because she's getting money off of it.
Because she's getting money off of it, and then she's creating a whole platform.
Mm-hmm.
Like people people gotta understand, you don't really get raised up by talent.
You don't really get raised up
by talent. They don't really raise you up in this music industry or the society by sheer talent.
Okay.
Allen Iverson noticed all too well.
Okay.
Very talented person. Ego, attitude, bad. He could have went further with a better team. He could have went further if he wasn't so damn hood. He probably would have been up on the level with the Hall of Fame and great like Charles Barkley and all of them.
Right.
He didn't go that far. He didn't go that far inside of his career. Okay. He didn't go that far inside of his career because he burnt a lot of bridges early on. And people didn't forget once it came time for him to retire. But yeah, I look at it like I think Sexy Red and all them, they make hood music and they were raised up to that level. I don't think this because they're super talented and they have a whole lot to say about a whole lot. Somebody wants this audience to have a spokesperson, and she just so happened to be the spokesperson for young ratchet women right now. So somebody chose her as the spokesperson. It could have been any person that's extremely talented, but they want to keep this image alive for some weird, odd reason. Peace and blessings on that, but I don't really see us moving forward a whole lot if we keep these type of images in the ghetto and keep these type of models as reference points for young black youth, whether they want to agree with it or not. They're powerful. Like one of my partner's friends, one of my old partners I used to hang with, his dad said some real stuff one day. His dad was like, if a rapper put on a helmet in a music video, it'd be people walking around with helmets on. I couldn't stop laughing when I first heard that. But he was actually telling the truth. Because rappers do it now. Like Nelly put a Band-Aid up under his eye. Everybody start wearing Band-Aids up under their eye. People start drinking lean and not even sick. You know what I'm saying? People mimic the people they look up to. And if something's dumb, it's putting on a damn helmet, they'll put on a helmet. They'll do that as well. And it's real sad that they're so subjectable, but I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised. But I definitely want more of us to just grow more as a culture, as people, as a whole. Yeah, I think it's like we're headed down an intelligent path. I will say this on the positive side about our culture. I'm noticing during this whole TikTok thing, we're becoming more, even though it's diet woke, it's still a step in the right direction. Men are becoming more open and talkative and with their feelings. We're trying to figure out this whole relationship thing. And that's the main talk right now. In 2023, 2022, relationships. Everybody's got a podcast. Everybody has a platform. Everybody has their truth. Everybody has different goals they set aside and trauma and all this other stuff or whatever, but they're talking about it. We're talking. Men are opening up a lot more, which is good. We're the most, how Nakia said it, we're the most anti-social society. We're very anti-social but social in our mannerisms, right? We turn into a society of people who are more in tune now spiritually. I would definitely say that we're moving in the right direction as far as that's concerned. Everybody wears crystals. I love that. I like the fact that everybody's at least having these crystal and these spiritual comments and these conversations. I'm noticing that a big change in that people are becoming less religious, which is inevitable because the church is on its last leg. All the major churches, all the major religions know it. Religion is not something that's going to be. It's going to be always some form of religion, but not in the way that the old-fashioned way, the old Baptist way, the old Lutheran way. All those people are dying. Kids don't go to church no more. They'd rather not do it. what I'm saying? The church following itself as a whole has diminished. The only thing that's keeping the church alive now, especially in the HBCUs and the HBCUs and some of those middle class Americans who are keeping tradition alive just for the sake of tradition and gathering places for people to gather, as far as black people. Those are the ones that's keeping the church alive. But the church has ran out of funds years ago. So only a few pockets left. Churches are closing left and right.
That's true.
Yeah, so I was just out here talking about like anti-society, how society is so anti-social.
Mm-hmm.
And how society now is really people sitting around with their cell phones, going like this.
Mm-hmm.
They're all sitting around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's looking up. I said that the other day. Nobody looks up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody looks up at the stars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a new moon, and the new moon is in Libra right now. So I was just looking at it. But anyway.
Because it was just in Leo.
Huh?
Because it was in Leo.
It goes backwards.
Okay.
Astrology goes backwards. It's not like clockwise.
It's counter.
Like counter.
Okay. That's good to know.
Huh?
That's good to know.
You like the
Like
ages.
when you in Mercury retrograde, that means that it's the thought that the planets are moving backward. So that's why that has a lot to do with like mental illness and stuff like that, because you're not moving in divine order, you're moving backwards. That's what I read.
Say it one more time. Say the last part.
About moving backward.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you read.
Saying that the planets are moving backwards. So when you're in Mercury retrograde, things are moving counter instead of clockwise.
Correct.
That's what I read. Because I was looking it up and I was like,
Well, all planets don't spin in the same direction. Some of them spin this way, some of them spin this way.
so, you know, that's your forte. I don't really know too much about that. That's
And
your
all of them don't go like a perfect shape.
Mm-hmm.
All of them are not inside of a perfect shape in orbit around the sun.
Okay.
Some of them are like this. Some of them orbit the Earth or the sun like this.
Mhm.
Some of them orbit like this. Some of them orbit in almost a perfect elliptical.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really an orbit. It's called an ellipson.
I read.
Yeah. So the planet, like for example, Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Earth doesn't go in a perfect orbit.
Okay.
It goes more of in an oval. Right? It goes more of in an oval.
Okay.
So when we're closest to Earth, what you would?
This is when I was researching Mercury retrograde. It said Mercury retrograde is an optical illusion, which means it looks as if the planet
It's
is
spinning
moving
backwards, but it's not
from
actually
our
doing
view here on Earth. Astrologers believe that during this perceived backwards motion, technology and communication could get disrupted, putting a damper on anyone's summer mood.
Well, the reason why that is because Mercury is the planet or the god, the Greek god is over messages.
Okay.
Mercury deals with messages and information.
So that's what they say right here. Be a lot of arguments during they say during Mercury retrograde. It's a lot of people's like, especially if you have like Alzheimer's and stuff like that, is heightened during those times. If you have like quote unquote bipolar or schizophrenia, like you're very heightened. If you already have an angry nature, you're going to be even more angry. Like it just heightens whatever you already have instilled inside of you. That's
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it plays a factor. We just got out of retrograde a couple days ago.
Yeah, we just.
But Uranus just went into retrograde.
Okay.
So people put emphasis on Mercury, but it's important to know all of the planets. The word planet is a Greek word. It means wanderer. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, the planet means it's wandering. It appears to constantly move around.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a fixed position when you're standing on Earth, because you don't know the patterns and stuff, because they weren't all that bright.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They start calling, look at those wanderers, those bright lights that constantly move every night and in different positions and stuff. They're constantly moving around. So if you watch the planets, we're actually the thing that's moving, right? We're actually the thing that's moving around. But their mind couldn't grasp the concept. They didn't have the knowledge and the understanding of the foresight to say, those planets, they thought we were standing still, and the planets were actually moving around.
Opposite.
The opposite. But anyway.
That was good to know.
Yeah, it would be good to know. I mean, the Egyptians had already figured it out. The Arcadians had already figured it out. But you got to understand, Greece, the Greco-Roman era was like, they were all about fighting. So it wasn't a lot of advancements in psychology or a lot of lessons to sit down and drop wisdom.
You were constantly at war.
You constantly at war. You didn't have time to talk and sit down and philosophize and say, let's pontificate about this or let's write this down. Great minds are only emerge in times of peace. They can't emerge in times of war. Nobody's sitting down philosophizing. Everybody's sharpening steels, warning the women, we're going to be gone for months, getting the crops ready, preparing for battle, boarding up houses, you know what I'm saying, getting ready. People doing sit-ups and push-ups and battle training. They don't have time to write books and philosophize. Everybody's getting their war strategies together. They calling some of the best generals that retired back. Hey, we need you back. We about to go to war with such and such. We about to go to war with Sagunta, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's time. You know what I'm saying? The women are singing songs of war. The young men are begging to go.
Begging.
Yeah, because they want to prove to their other men that I'm a man too. You're too young. I'm 13. I can go, Dad. I want to kill too. I want to fight for our country too. It's the manly thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And so at this time, the musicians are making music about war. They're making war chants. See, right now, in our what Bobby Hemmett called it, straight up zombie people, just walking around with no purpose and no understanding of self, no knowledge. He said it's a gang of zombies, just zombie killers. That's what he called this young generation. And
I agree.
In a way, it is that, and they make war chants, they make death chants. Like they around there chanting about death. You know what I'm saying? Riding wave, crying and depression and death. Suicide and death. I must slide on it. Like they talking about sliding on their ops and killing people constantly. They're death chants. How many people can you kill? We're gonna run the body counter. We're gonna run the counter. That means we're gonna kill more people. So they're bragging about how many ops you pop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, young boy, I don't know.
Yeah, how many ops you pop. You know what I'm saying? So when you don't know yourself, you'll kill yourself. Because you don't love yourself, because you don't know yourself. And like Nipsey said something that was very crafty and it was honest. And he said, he asked him, I think it's Big Boy in the Morning asked him, he said, when you riding through op neighborhood, what are you looking for? Like he was talking about like when he ride by and try to like kill other black men that look like himself. Okay. He said, I'm looking for someone that look like me. He said,
raw and honest.
Huh?
Raw.
Yeah, oh yeah. He said, because I don't want the one that's going to run home. He said, I want the one that's going to put his chin up and say, yeah, do it. He said, I'm looking for that one. But he just so happened to be an op in a different neighborhood. I'm looking for the one that like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for somebody to look just like me. That ain't scared of nothing. He said, that's what I'm looking for. And that's how I determine who I'm going to shoot. That's how I'm going to slide on the op block. I'm like, ooh. And he said, I bypass all of the men that's going home for work. He respect the working man. He said the gang members and stuff that ain't really about that, he don't even pay them no attention. They don't exist in his little realm, in his little world. The kids out there, he said, you got to have respect. He said he looking for somebody to look just like him. He want to kill somebody to look just like him and act just like him. Right? So with that being said, huh?
Well, if that's the case, that was his demise. All respect due.
So with that being said, I think that he lived his life. I think that if he hadn't called that boy a snitch, he'd probably be still alive. His ego killed him.
How many people probably called that damn boy a snitch?
I don't know, but he hurt him when Nip did it. You know what I'm saying? How many people have told you don't do certain things, but one person told you the same thing that everybody else told you, you got it. He was like, you know what? My grandma told me this 13, 14, but one person said it and it triggered something. Okay. Plus, Nip is a very important person in that neighborhood, in that section, in the city, in the world. He wanted Nip's respect. He wanted his acceptance. When Nip rejected him, it made him feel like a little boy.
It's like you can't put your faith in man. You gotta put your faith in yourself.
But listen what I'm saying.
I got you.
So like, when Nip did that, it crushed him.
Yeah, it did. For him to kill that man.
It crushed him so
The government
bad.
got to him.
Yeah, it crushed him so bad because I saw video footage like yesterday on this. It said Eric Holder, the footage that just got released. He went down to the store. He was breathing hard. He was like, you can tell he was thinking about it. He dropped down. He was like this. And spiritually speaking, the spirit jumped on him. The spirit to do it.
Mm-hmm.
A spirit jumped on him and said, "Yeah, we gotta go do that. We gotta go handle this. We can't let this slide." Right? That's a demon. Right? That's why you can't come out your house at certain times. Every time you open up your door, you ain't supposed to just open up your door. You letting something in. Something knocked and you heard it and you open up the door. I did it the other night. I woke up and went to go open the door. I said,
Mm-hmm.
what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be careful and don't let them inside your house. I stopped myself. I was like, okay. I was tripping. Whatever it was wanted to get in. I thought about it and it came, another spirit came and said, close that door. Don't even open that door.
Right.
Don't even open that door for that, on that.
I was a little sage.
Exactly. So, but I'm just saying, like,
I got you.
so I saw the spirit jump on him. He was like,
They nodded.
he nodded.
They nodded.
He looked around. At first, then he went like this. And he nodded. Like, no. Then you have to. You want your respect, right? He got to die. You know what I'm saying? So, he felt like he had no choice. In hindsight, I know he's saying to himself, well, I should have just walked away.
Mm-hmm.
I should have just walked away and just went on about my business. I should have said, man, fuck you. And kept it moving.
It was the best bet.
Well, I shouldn't have just killed his ass in broad daylight. He probably plotting 100 different ways he could have done it. Still got his respect, but tried to get away with it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's amazing to me how, and I always do that, when I always look at somebody and say, I wonder did they know they was going to die today. I look at the news and I said, I wonder did they know when they woke up that was the last time they were straightening their shoes up and getting dressed.
I remember what you told me about Martin Luther King when he made the speech. He knew he was going to die.
Yeah. Bobby Hemmings said it's a feeling. Bobby Hemmings say, just like you know when you got to go pee, just like you know it's time to go to bed, you know when you about to die. Now, he said it's up to you to ignore it or not. It's up to you to sit there and say, oh, that ain't that, nah, that's that. Take that serious. And he was just saying, he said sometimes you can cheat it. Sometimes you can cheat it. People don't like talking about that because they place the blame back on the individual, right? But let's say everything was lined up for you to die at this particular point. And you decide not to go to that club that night. You cheated. Now in the final destination, you would die nevertheless.
Regardless.
But that's how...
If you cheated one way, it was going to set up another one. So.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. I don't necessarily look at it like that.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because I believe everybody has a trajectory. But I believe there's multiple trajectories.
Okay.
There's not just one path. I think there's like... you get to a certain point and then it spreads into 100 different denominations. And then you get to this point, then it spreads into 100 different then it spreads into 1,000. Then you turn 18 and you did this thing and you said, no, I don't want to get in that car. I'm good.
So you swerved on it.
So and it spread into 100 other different outcomes and possibilities. Right? If you went down, got in that car, you would have went to jail.
Right.
Right? Being that you didn't do that, now the possibility of you growing up and then going to Harvard, having twins, meeting Teresa at the coffee shop has increased. The probability of it has increased. That's kind of when you're playing chess. That's why I told you there is no wrong moves. There's just probability of you winning now, either increased or decreased. Correct. That's the same way it is in life.
So I can feel that.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Like I look at it like you just increase your probability. Like you keep doing ratchet shit in the street, you're just increasing your probability of going to jail by 10, by 20, by 100. Because you keep just doing, you just keep doing dumb shit. It's inevitable. Nobody's wishing death on you. Nobody talking down. You keep doing street shit. You won't stop. This is where those people go.
Dead or in jail.
Those your options.
Now, the way it goes about.
The way it goes about is totally up to you.
Those are the possibilities.
Correct. Those, exactly.
But it's two destinations.
Or you could turn around and stop. You can stop right now. You can stop. You can. You know what I'm saying? You can stop. You got some people that say, man, you know what? I stopped and I'm happy I did that. Best thing ever happened.
I have a question. Do you think that when you cheat death, that can go on your kids? Like, just say, like, if you was the street guy, you turned your life around, you cheated death, and you have a child, do you think that that probability now goes on them? Or the possibility of it goes on them?
I'm really conflicted and torn on that.
Okay.
I've thought about this many times. The reason why I say that is because that would mean that karma is real.
Yeah, I don't believe in karma.
No, I don't know. In the literal sense, I don't believe inside of it.
I don't believe that just because somebody do something wrong to me, something bad is supposed to happen to them.
Yeah.
I believe that bad was going to happen to them regardless if they did something to me or not.
Correct.
You know?
I agree with that 100%. But what I'm saying is, how could something you did trickle down into your children?
The same way generational wealth can. They reap benefits or you wreak havoc. If I set you up for success, you're going to be successful. If I set you up for demise, you will get demise. Even though I may have turned my life around, but look at all the shatters and look at all the pieces of glass I left for you to step on. I didn't clean it up. I just went into another room.
I'm trying to see how that can link and be spiritual in nature. Well, I guess it could be spiritual because you have people that are rich, but then they have like what they did to get that money could be fucked up, and now it's cursing everybody who spend that money because somebody put some juju on their ass because they doing the wrong thing. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. But it's best to guard your kids and protect them.
I try to do right all the time.
Yeah, just do right. Just do right. Just be good. Like my grandma says, it's better to be kind.
Even if the outcome is bad, as long as my intentions was good, I can't.
I meant well. Exactly.
I meant well.
Like I like inside the Quran how the first thing that the baby hear is a whisper in their ear. You know what I'm saying? When Muslim women, the first thing they do as soon as the baby's born, they put like a spell over the baby. First thing they do is, you know, Bismillah, Rahman Rahim. That's the first thing the baby ever hears. Sets a tone. It's almost like a spell they putting over the baby.
Okay.
Right? Spells are being done. You do spells a lot and don't even realize it.
Okay.
Right?
Example.
You may grab your niece and say, I love you, okay, and you holding her and you kiss her on the forehead.
Every time.
But that's what I'm saying. You rubbing her, you consoling her, you're thinking, I hope she's protected, loved at all times. You're putting a spell on her. It's your spell. It's a good spell. It's a gospel.
Okay.
So I did that. Good spell, gospel. Yeah. So
good spell,
gospel.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a good spell. You're putting the gospel, your thoughts, your intentions all over her body. That's what a lot of people do with their kids when they kiss them in the morning. All right, now, what we gonna do today? We're not gonna. You're putting a spell. You're grabbing their hands. You're locking eyes with them, and you're putting a mental that juice on them. And your old black women, they put this in your pocket. They give you something to put in your pocket. Put this in your pocket. Put this in your backpack. You know what I'm saying? Bring this like when inside the storylines. You ever saw Die Hard with Bruce Willis? She said, what did the wife say to him at the end of the movie? I mean, at the beginning of the movie.
What she say?
Oh, good one with Samuel Jackson. That's one of the best ones. The first Die Hard. She said, bring back some milk. He said, okay. She's giving him an objective to do. You ain't gonna die. You gonna bring me some milk back. And so when he called her in his head, I got to go bring my wife some milk back. I got to go bring my wife some milk.
What happened?
No matter, I got to go do that. She gave him a directive in the form of a job, in the form of protection. You know what I'm saying? Like some women do it in the movies. They're you're not gonna die. You coming right back to me. She's speaking out the chant. She's chanting it. Just wear this around your neck, and they'll give it to the man and put this around your neck. This, you know what I'm saying? And
that's crazy you said that.
Exactly. We do it all the time and don't really realize.
That's crazy you said that.
We do it all the time.
I remember I was living in Mississippi, and one of my friends, they was living a really hard life, and they had came over to the house, and I had just felt real funny that day. And he used to go to the store and get me like my friend. And so I was like, hey bro, make sure you bring me a Slim Jim when you get back. He's like, I'm about to spend a blunt real quick. I say, hey, when you get back, bring me a Slim Jim back. And I really felt it, and it's something that had went down, and it was with people he was rolling with. I got the Slim Jim though. So when you said that, it made me think about that because it was like, dang, maybe the fact that he knew that he wanted to bring me that backstab him, he was like, well, no, I already told Lee I was gonna slide back through, so I ain't gonna do this today. I'll link up with y'all tomorrow or something like that. So, never thought about that.
Like I said, like a lot of people will put stuff around your neck, or they'll take the ring and put it off. And see, sometimes when it don't work, not all of them work. You don't got enough juice. Like I used to talk to my cousin them. I said, that nigga ain't got enough juice to fuck with me. Like what I mean is like you don't have enough intentions in your thoughts and spiritually to even talk to me. Like you ain't got enough juice on your stuff. Like my dad used to always call it juice. So I think the more good deeds you do, this is how my mind works. The more positive things you do, the more elderly people you look out for, the more kids you take care of, the more you give back to the community, the people will touch you and grab you and say, thank you. They look in your eye, thank you. You're making a difference here, man. You're doing something different. Keep on going, young lady. And they put juice on you. You're doing the right thing. Don't let nobody tell you no different. Come here. Don't let nobody tell you no different. You're doing the right thing. You did right by that. And they putting juice on you. Somebody die, they say, don't, and they start whispering and saying little stuff. They putting juice on you. Putting good juice on you. So you wonder why you're in a car wreck and everything get inside of car accidents and come out unscathed. There's so many people sitting there protecting you, riding in the car with you, holding on to you, grabbing the steering wheel for you. It's a spiritual war.
And I told you about this.
Yeah, it's a spiritual war going on. You got demons over here. They over here fighting. It's a whole world on top of this world, right? And they getting it in. It's grocery stores. It's fucking clubs. It's nightclubs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you can go to some clubs and get a real fucked up energy. Mm-hmm. Like that club on Broad River. What's the one across the street from Quanah River? Rose Gold. You know people got killed in Rose Gold?
Yes, sir. They had it boarded up at one time.
That's what I'm saying. You know how many people back in the 90s got killed there? There always was a death trap. There always was a death hole. Always was a death. In order for somebody who ever get that, they're going to have to go. If I was them, I had to spiritually bless the hell out that shit. Because every time somebody dies, this is deep.
Okay.
Every time somebody dies, a portal opens up for that soul to go back up.
Okay.
This portal is known as the same portal that opens up when you're having sex and you're about to bust an orgasm.
Okay.
Wilhelm Wright had something over this called the orgon energy.
The orgon.
Mm-hmm. It's about orgasmic energy, but it deals with portal energy. So when you're about to have sex and you ejaculate and your sperm go inside the woman or whatever, and before it penetrates what's called a portal opens up for a soul to come down into that sperm. How you think the soul got inside there?
Okay.
So you'll see like a light almost, or like a hue almost. The same thing happens when somebody dies, like a portal opens up and a soul has to shoot through, right? So
you think life comes back to that same portal death goes through?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just speculating,
Okay.
right? But like, I think the more the portal opens up at a certain location, the easier it is for that portal to become open.
Say that again?
More a portal opens up at a certain location, the easier it is for that portal to open. So it's quicker to die now at a place like that.
Like it could be here, but it's different if it's over here.
No, what I'm saying is like at that nightclub, so many people done died there.
Oh, I got you.
So where it's quicker when somebody say, "What? Who you talking to?" I ain't playing with you, bro.
Right.
For real, I'm because the portal's already halfway open at all times at this location because so many people done died here.
Right.
That's like some people go to certain camps to commit suicide, certain forests to go and commit suicide.
The energy of death is there.
It's there.
Okay.
It's there.
Now, most people kill themselves in the bathtub and stuff, but most people kill themselves certain places. The energy of death is there. I got you.
Exactly. So like you can feel death when you go inside of like a morgue.
Yeah.
You go inside of like a funeral home. You can feel it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you go to a baby room inside of a hospital, you can feel life. You can touch their little bitty hands. You can look at like this life at its earliest stage. They just came through the portal. You You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this at a gravesite, because even though dead souls are there, I know that souls rise up too. So what energy do you feel like you feel from there? Is it dependent on the person and what they feel, or what do you think is there? Because there's life and death at a graveyard. In my opinion.
What's the life at a graveyard?
The soul that's rising up. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's going to be one day where all souls rise up. But I don't think that. I think that when you die, you have a certain point where your soul rises up. And it may not, it could be somebody who died in the 1500s or 1600s. They may still be asleep, but you can die. I feel like, just say somebody, died in 1937, something like that. 100 years later, they could rise up. But I also feel like it's some people that still sleep. I feel like everybody's souls rise at different times. So that's why I say it's life and death.
Okay.
In the graveyard. So
Okay.
what kind of energy do you feel is, I mean, I know you don't know for sure, but like just off of how you feel and just your opinion.
I mean, I feel that the grave, like the person's body's there, but that don't mean that they there. When I said that, when I did the metaphysical through the journey through the underworld, their body is there, but they come there just because you come there. So they'll come back. They traveling. They going, rolling dice, hanging in juke joints, beating on people. Does heaven have a ghetto? Hell yeah. So like they still doing what they did in life, just in another dimension.
Okay.
They still was ignorant and still never found themselves if they didn't know themselves here. You don't just magically go to these spiritual places and
Like
just
got
wake
good
up.
spirits and things.
Correct. Got some ignorant assholes, because there was some ignorant assholes in life. They love to play pranks on people and wake people up and scare them and stuff.
Yeah, I don't like that.
What I'm trying to tell you is, he was a dickhead when he was alive.
Then, so yeah,
Dickhead now. Yeah. He was an asshole then. She was a slut then. That's why some people be having sex with incubus and succubus and different spirits. Yeah, she loved to have sex. That's one of her favorite things. She's a sex goddess. He loves to have sex. He's a sex goddess. That bird came straight over.
It's been doing it a lot. You'll see when you run around the back. It's a couple of birds.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm talking on something on point.
They like to play over your head.
That's what's up. What I about to say though? So like,
Incubus and succubus.
yeah.
And people being a dickhead then and being a dickhead now, no matter when you die or not.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I just try to like.
I always felt like it was purification in dying though. I always felt like if you weren't like that great of a person when you were living, I always felt like it was some type of purification process while you dying. Maybe you rise up and you become your best self then. But I don't know. Because if that was the case, then we wouldn't have bad spirits.
Correct.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. But yeah, like, as far as like the whole spiritual world, I'm happy that we're becoming more spiritually inclined, like as a group, as a culture. But then it leaves a lot more room for bullshit. A lot more people like trying to pimp it now. Like, oh, you like crystals?
Oh, you like that?
Well, I'm gonna sell crystals.
Somebody get your whole bag.
Yeah, if you tarot cards. Everybody doing tarot readings. Nobody knows. Everybody ain't supposed to play with these cards. You know what I'm saying? But everybody can play with them. You know what I'm saying? But see, back that kind of started with tarot cards, right?
Yeah.
Like, tarot represents the 4 seasons. That's why it's 4 different suits.
What's the 4 different suits? I know you talking about past, present, future.
4 different suits inside of a deck of playing cards.
Oh, I thought you were talking about in the tarot card.
It is 4 different
You're talking about
suits.
diamonds, clubs, spades, and hearts.
Correct.
Okay.
This the diamonds represent war.
Really?
The clubs represent agriculture.
My grandma said that's what the white man beat the nigga with.
What?
Clubs.
Well, she's probably talking about billy clubs. But yeah, like the one of them represent agriculture. One of them represents self-defense or war.
Maybe that's a spade. Is that a spade?
I don't think the spade was that. The spade, I think, represents. It's 4 different branches of a society, right? Which breaks into the 4 different elements.
Earth, wind, fire. Earth, wind, fire, rain.
Water.
Earth, wind, fire.
Earth, wind, fire, water, air.
The wind.
Yeah, wind, yeah. But yeah, these 4 different societies also break down into the 4 different seasons.
Spring, summer, fall, winter.
Correct.
Okay.
So I don't need tarot cards. I can give you a reading with playing cards. Want to know something deep?
Yeah.
People who playing spades is performing rituals on each other. They're giving each other readings. They're doing divinations, whether they know it or not. Just like the bones with dominoes. That's like the cowrie shells thing.
The what?
Cowrie shells.
Like from a beach?
Yeah.
Cowrie shells?
The ones that people put in their hair.
Okay. Okay. I never knew the proper name.
That was the oldest form of money.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Now, people from the islands, they'll take the cowrie shells and actually ask the shells a question and throw a couple of them up in the air. The ones that land on a backside is feminine, and the ones that land front up is masculine.
Meaning either, okay.
Remember I told you in the beginning, men are no, women are yes.
Okay.
So, if you ask a question and you got 8 different cowrie shells and 5 land on yes, the answer is yes.
It's whatever the
question was.
It's whatever the more.
Correct.
It's about the greater.
Correct.
Okay.
And you can get real complex with this stuff.
What if it's 4 and 4?
Well, you do it again. But like I said, also there's a reading for every divination.
Okay.
So for example, this is what I Ching is. I Ching is the ancient art of like feng shui and things of that nature. But I Ching is tied into also the divinations. They don't use the cowrie. There's the Chinese people to do this. They don't use the cowrie shells, right? But they use coins with a little hole in them. So they'll ching, they hit it or whatever, and once they do it, they'll start out with the more intricate, the more divinations, the more intricate and detailed it is. Right?
Right.
So you can start at 4 coins.
Okay.
And you can go to 8.
Okay.
But 8 times 8 is 64, correct?
8 times 8,
Right?
Yeah, 8 times 7 is 56, 56, and 8. No, 8 times 8, yeah.
64.
I got you.
So the reason why I say that is 64 pieces on a chessboard.
8 times 7 is 56.
Right? So that means it's 64. If you got 8 shells.
32 and 32.
Yeah, if you got 8 shells or 8 coins, you can have 64 divinations. There's 64 possibilities. Right? So they so advanced, each divination has an explanation up under it. So if it land on 4 heads, 4 tails, like you said earlier, there's a description and a story that goes along with this. If it land on 3 heads, exactly, there's a description that goes along with this.
1 and 7, 8, all of them.
Correct. So it's gonna have pages and pages based off each divination. Hence, how many cards are inside of playing a deck of cards?
You know, if you're playing with the jokers or not, anywhere between 52 and 54.
Okay. How many weeks it is inside?
52.
Inside a year.
52.
Right. Art reflects life. It always does. But so like,
damn, I ain't never think about that.
Yeah. Like so like everything in life we pull from life to make life, to participate in life, to be in life, to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like so like the 64 divinations.
Well, no, it's always gonna be 52 because to put the jokers in, you gotta take 2 out.
Yeah.
So got you.
Yeah. But like that's 54 different divinations.
52.
52, yeah. So you would pull out this and you would say, that's the king of diamonds.
Okay.
And then you have to go inside of here and you got to understand what you're doing.
Okay.
And when we playing these games, we drinking.
Okay.
We drinking spirits to get in contact with the spirit. So when I asked you earlier, niggas be turning up and don't have no reason for it. They really need a reading, but the spirit is telling them they need a reading. If they knew what they were looking at when they had a hand of spades, somebody just dealt them what they was dealing with. They dealt them their fortune. That's what you go to.
You your cards.
Yeah, through these your cards.
These your cards, all 13 of them, they yours.
Right. So, I just gave you your fortune, but do I know what I'm doing? No. Do you know what are you full of the knowledge? And are you on the square? Do you have information? No. Nobody at the table do. So they're all giving each other fortunes away to make suits. Right? They're giving each other fortunes, and nobody's paying attention. Nobody's none the wiser.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why people play games a lot of times, because games are rooted in reality, and they looking for something that they don't know quite what it is, and they can't put their finger on it, but they know it's something there. Let's play some spades. Let's play some bones, man. Let's play some tongue. You know what I'm saying? Let's play some tongue. Let's do this. But the cards are giving you everything you need. And once you know how to read cards, you don't need tarot cards. You can do it with any cards, playing cards, any cards.
It's funny you say that, because I remember when I was in college, there was this one girl that I knew, she loved to play trouble. And the objective of trouble is to get home. I guess she had her own little stuff. She couldn't go home. She couldn't do this. She loved to play trouble. And she used to always win, too. She always got home. So it's funny when you said the stuff about cards and how it coincides with life. That was her favorite game, because she always, and I later learned that she was just always trying to get home. That's all she tried to do. So that's something.
Yeah, like, I don't know. We don't really study. You got to study yourself, what it is that I like. Why do I like pizza so much? Is my connection to pizza is grounded inside of a good time that I had when I was 5 years old, and I'm constantly wanting to live out that memory. Then I'm 36 years old. You got to analyze what it is you like. Then analyze what it is you don't like. And then ask yourself why you don't like it. Do I like it because my grandma always told me it'll make me sick? Or do I not like it because my grandma told me one time that tea will ruin my bladder? Is the reason why I don't drink tea to this day.
Yeah, because you won't.
I don't drink tea. It's because my grandma told me that when I was 5 years old. She said, ruin your bladder.
Tea.
Huh?
I love tea.
I love tea. I mean, I love the idea of tea. I would love to drink it, but I don't drink it because of the day, because my grandma told me that. So, our childhood shapes our reality, and what our environment shapes what type of adults we become.
That's why I was saying, like, about the whole situation with the Cardi B thing, and she's not the only one that wields power, but that's why I was saying it starts at home with everything, about how you're growing up and how your thought process and how you conduct yourself in life starts at home. If you're not growing up with love at home, you're not going to seek love out into the world sometimes. If you're growing up with love in your home, now it is opposite effects. You like with rich people, money is not an object for them, so they are more susceptible to mental illnesses and things like that, because that's one thing they don't got to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
They got more time.
They got more time to think about other bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
But so, absolute power corrupts absolute power, absolutely.
Absolute power corrupts absolute power, absolutely.
Yeah. And so, like, I think that I
feel like absolute is like a circle.
Okay.
Like, that's like
but that's a famous quote. But the reason why I said that to say that, because, like, yeah, a lot of times their power just corrupts them even more. The fact that they wield so much power, the fact that they have so much money.
I don't like to speak ahead of myself, but I really don't think that if I was to ever become very wealthy, that it would change me. Like, I would change. Okay, so nope. Let me go back. Of course, I would change, but it wouldn't be the type of change that. Like, I still feel like I eat my little oodles and noodles every now and then. I feel like I don't feel like money would change me.
How much money are we talking?
Like, just say I was a millionaire. Like,
okay.
1 million. Just 1 million.
1 million ain't enough to change.
Okay, I mean, for some people it is. 100,000 is enough for somebody to change. Money for some people.
I don't think that's enough. Like, I think.
What is enough though?
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
I think that. Right.
Elon Musk type of money.
Yeah, that's the richest person on the planet money. What I'm saying is, like, if you got like $2 million,
that guy in Africa is the richest person in the world.
Huh?
That guy in Africa, you told me, is the richest guy in the world.
Yeah, Mansa Musa.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, if you a $20,000-$30,000 nigga, making $50,000 the following year would change your life. You making twice as much what you normally used to. So you gonna move a little different.
To keep the money up.
Correct. But you ain't comfortable.
You ain't comfortable because now you making twice as much what you used to making. And to some people, they don't know how to act at that point. Now let's speed that up.
Okay.
You used to make it $25,000, and all of a sudden, you make $100,000.
Okay.
It was a statistic that said if you take all of the world's, I think Harvard did a study on this.
Okay.
Harvard Business School has a great magazine.
Okay.
Harvard Business Review. Harvard Business Review. I like reading.
Okay.
And they do like little smaller studies like this. But in one episode that was very intriguing to me, it said if you was to take everybody's money, all the richest, and give it to all the poorest people.
You can end where hungry.
Watch where I'm finna go. Take all of the money and give it to all the poor people. Right? And take all of the poor people and give them all of the world's wealth. The top 10% of the entire world, give it to all the poor people.
Okay.
For one, they wouldn't know what to do with the money. For two, they don't have the knowledge of how to play with money on that level. They said within 7 years, everybody who's poor will go back to being poor, and everybody who's rich will go back to being rich. Rich is a mind state.
Yes, sir.
You have friends that are rich to teach you how to be rich. You get groomed over generations to being wealthy. And they show you how to hide that money. They show you how to invest and how to do this and whatever. You don't get shown that on the small level because you don't know it. You've never been in those rooms before.
Okay.
You don't know how to manage a Fortune 500 company. You don't have that knowledge. If I was just to give you this abundance of wealth, you wouldn't know what to do with it. You wouldn't. So that's why I say how rich. So if you become instant rich, you're gonna make a lot of bad decisions immediately because you haven't been groomed to be economically sane and to be economically safe and to make conscious decisions on that level. You don't even know how to file taxes on $1 million, let alone 5.
Okay.
So first off, you have to be more economic and financial savvy to know how to protect the money.
The literacy.
Yeah, the literacy, the jargon, knowing what people are trying to scam you. Then you will know how to have to invest your money differently because banks only insure you for $250,000.
They sure do.
Anything beyond that, you dead. So you have to find ways to put things into your money and protect your money and make investments, right? And so you got to create relationships when you do this. So when you
how
create,
do you know that this relationship that you're creating? I mean, everybody can smile in your face, but how you
Correct,
know they ain't getting it, skimming their stuff out the bottom?
Correct, but this is what I'm finna say.
Okay.
You in a room with people who got money. That I don't have shit ain't around you. You don't hang around nobody in your everyday life that ain't worth $1 million. Everybody millionaires in the club. The Millionaire Boys Club. Everybody's a millionaire back in his backyard. All we do is talk about investments and how we can make more millions. So if I scam you, and so what, I scammed you out of M. So what? You got 60. And you learned the $1 million lesson, didn't you?
You sure damn did.
All right then. It just cost you $1 million to
I'm
learn.
gonna make it again.
Exactly. You got 59 more tries. So so with that being said or whatever, you would learn off of other people. You would have no choice but to become like a guru. If you apply yourself and just listening and sit around people that's worth nothing but millions, and you apply yourself and they're applying themselves, you gonna grow. And so imagine doing that for 50 and 60 years. Then you talk to your son and your daughter differently. Once you got all those decades of being a millionaire. Oh, that's Keith Wanningsworth, first son. He's such and such and such. He's good with stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Get your advice from him.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he tells you to invest in, let's do it.
Let's try it.
Let's try that because his father was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And such that information, that's taught. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the people at the bottom is at the bottom because they don't apply themselves. Right? They're at the bottom because they not doing $1 million shit.
Or do you think they just weren't?
They could have been dealt a bad hand.
Very bad.
Yeah. So what? If that's the case, then nobody ever become. Everybody that been all millionaires or state millionaires.
That's true.
With that being said, it just determines that most of them are lazy in their thinking. Most of them ain't applying themselves like that. Most of them are being cursed with the spirit of of poverty.
But that's why I don't believe in being a product of your environment.
Yeah,
because I
but
feel like
poverty is a demon almost. That's why I always say, like, I like my favorite line from Big Crit. Most broke niggas up to no good. That's real talk. Because I don't have no money. So I'm in a take mentality. I want to take what I want. I have to take what I want because I don't earn what I want.
But now it's blood money and it's never going to do good by you.
Well, whether it's never going to be good about it, that doesn't matter, right? We're talking about something spiritual. That's on a whole nother level.
I got you.
When I'm talking about the mind state of someone walking around trying to take constantly, they live in a world of take. So hear me out for a second.
I got you.
So with that being said or whatever, like, that person will never get the gifts of investment because they took for so long. They're never going to be blessed with abundance because they sit around taking it.